All right, so we're going to dip our toes in the water in real-time gaming. As an example of the concept, emphasis on the word concept I'm talking about, we're going to be using Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. Very related to a pretty rules-heavy, pretty strategy-intensive tabletop game. And we're going to be talking about one of the harder scenarios, which is the swarm scenario. And let's just take a bite out of this right here and see what's going on. You are obviously outnumbered, outmuscled. Not all at once, but you're outmuscled, meaning that they can always do more damage to you and stuff. However, what you need to know about this type of situation is that in greater numbers, units become dumber. They become overloaded having to address each other and stuff. So coordination kind of goes by force, just goes out the window, and they become inefficient. They try to do everything at once, try to address everything at once. To exploit that, you use your greater speed, and you got to come shooting out and stuff. Use the imbalance of activity to help and stuff. Here, I know because I just played this scenario and stuff. I beat this mission on veteran, which is fairly difficult. You get pieced up pretty easily. As you can see, the player has a lot of options, things to do and stuff. You could pause the game and come up with combinations and counterattacks and techniques to pick apart the layers and just answer any threats that come through within your load capacity of your unit. So right now the unit is overloaded spatially momentarily, but he exploits the weakness and stuff, and he manages to keep everybody in front of him, denying them any benefit of spatial control. Because now they don't reap the benefits that they could realize of the spatial control because they're so numerous they can't address each other, meaning that piece coordination becomes rather weak. If you've ever been surrounded in a street fight, or been overwhelmed in terms of size and stuff, then you know what I'm talking about. And I know from my experience that these ideas that I'm communicating work. So yeah, and then what results, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. Obviously in this campaign as a set piece, Titus, he dies. But hey, he's brought back and he's stronger because he's not truly dead. Got resources to make him undead. It's all a gambit. And he becomes like the Tyranid's worst enemy. So anyway, yeah, that's what you need to know about the swarm scenarios and stuff. They're not necessarily losing positions. There. That's all I need to say.